JJ, thanks so much for being with us. First of all, when you see a neighborhood like this, what goes through your mind?
Devastating. I mean, I think that's the only word that can describe it. When you drive through the city, when you see the floods, when you see the pictures on TV of what's happening, devastating is the only word that you can use. But I think inspiring is the next word that comes to mind.
Because of what you're seeing neighbors doing.
Exactly. You see the neighbors, you see the policemen, you see the firemen, you see the helicopters, you see what humanity can do when everybody comes together in a time like this, and that's the most inspiring part of it all.
So this idea of fundraising, when did you come up with it?
Well, we were stuck in Dallas, so we played a game in New Orleans a week ago, and then they said we couldn't come home from New Orleans, so they flew us to Dallas, and we were sitting in Dallas in a hotel, and I'm watching all this unfold on TV, and so I said, I feel helpless. I feel like I want to do something to help our people. What can I do from Dallas? I can't physically help, so I wanted to raise money, and I set out to raise $200,000 and just took a video on my phone.
That was the initial goal?
That was the initial goal, $200,000.
Did you think you could get $200,000?
Yeah, I thought I could get $200,000. I had a plan for $200,000. Okay. I knew what I was going to do. And now we're over $12 million, going into the $13 million range. So, new plan.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks who have been waiting to see you are very grateful, obviously. When you saw it starting to go up, and if you reached 200,000, and then, I mean, every time you clicked on the site, did you just see the numbers?
It just kept scrolling and scrolling, and then we broke the site, and then it kept scrolling and scrolling, and then we broke the site. The funniest story of it all is actually the initial night we broke the site. We couldn't figure out how to get it back up, and we somehow found the CEO's phone number and called him at his house, and got him out of bed. He helped us fix the site, and then it got rolling, so here we are.
Wow, that's customer service.
I mean, I got to give the guy credit. He was unbelievable, and he probably helped us raise a ton more money because he kept the site up and rolling.
So do you have a goal now in mind, or is it just open-ended?
It's kind of open-ended. You know, once we hit 10 million, I said, I'm going to put it at 15, see what happens, and I mean, yesterday we raised 4 million. Today it's already over 3 million. So we're just going to let it go and see where it goes. I mean, maybe it gets to 20, maybe it gets more. But now I'm really focusing my efforts on making sure that I get that money directly back to the people.
Yeah, do you know how you're going to go about doing that?
So my first phase is what I'm doing is this weekend, my teammates and I, we have semi-trucks rolling in from out of town that we've filled up. We have about 9 semi-trucks that are going to come into town, and we have those all filled with stock supplies, water, food, clothing, everything. So we're going to give that out this weekend. That's our first step. And then I'm going to regroup after this weekend because obviously, like I said, I was planning for 200,000, and now with a new plan for multi-millions, I'm going to make sure that I get with the people that did Katrina and that learned from Katrina so that I can make sure I do it right. Because with these people trusting me with their money, I want to make sure that I don't do it hastily. I want to do it exactly the right way so I can help the most people possible.
I know you've already been talking to people who went through Katrina, friends of yours, other football players, just to get a sense of what they did, what works, what doesn't.
Yeah, I've spoken to Drew Brees. I talked to him for quite a while today. Going to get on the phone with some more people. I've talked to some of the companies that helped out over there just to kind of get a glimpse of what went wrong, what went right, and how do you think we can do it best this time. And I've gotten some really good information, and the best thing that people have told me so far is take your time to make sure you do it right. And I want people to know that that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take my time to make sure I do it right, because I want to do right by these people that need it, and I also want to do right by the people that trust me with their money.
Yeah, because I mean, in a situation like this, there's emergency needs, like right now, right here, right now, but this is something that goes on for weeks, months, years in some cases.
Yeah, and so I spoke to the mayor today of Houston. I spoke to the mayor of Houston today to talk about those immediate needs. And we talked about what I'm going to do on Sunday and exactly where I can get those resources to make sure that we take care of those emergency situations. But like you said, this isn't a one day, this isn't a 1 week, this isn't a 1 month thing. This is going to take months and years and years. So I want to make sure that since we do have this large sum of money, I want to make sure that I do it right over the long period. And I want Houston to know that I'm with them in the long haul. I'm not just here for the initial fundraiser. I'm here to make sure that we take care of you down the road.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never.
I mean, you're from Wisconsin originally.
Never. And I was just talking about that with some of my teammates. You know, you see things on TV, you saw Katrina on TV, you see these disasters on TV, but you've never really been a part of it. And until you're a part of it, you can never understand what it's like. And so to be in it, to see my city going through it, to see all of our people going through it, in streets that you know flooded 50 feet high, that's when it hits the most home. And I think that's really why I'm so passionate about making sure that I do this right.
I'm wondering how your teammates and their families are reacting to this.
It's been different because some guys can't get to their homes. We have some guys who are in evacuation zones. We have some guys who had 2 feet of water in their house. We had a couple of our staff members had to be evacuated by boat. So it's just really been here and there. But the one thing that our team is all about is helping and giving back. So once their families were safe, once everybody's safe, I know we had a group of guys go over to one of the shelters tonight and play with the kids at the shelter and bring some toys. It's really about whatever we can do. And then once the football season starts, it's about 3 hours every Sunday if we can be a distraction for the fans and be a distraction for the people to take their mind off it.
It's so interesting on something like this that kind of takes off in a life of its own. You know, the fundraising you're doing. You have some, big name people giving a lot of money, but you also just have a lot of people who have been moved by what you've done and want to help. Because I think, like you, so many people have seen this on television and feel frustrated that, where do I donate? What can I do?
And I think that's what's so interesting and awesome about the time that we live in right now is this crowdfunding idea has really taken off. And so while we do have people donating $1 million, $500,000, we also have people donating $5, and that's all they can donate, but they are donating because they want to be a part of it and they want to show their support. The last time I checked, there was over 110,000 people that had donated. I mean, it's incredible, and they're from all over the country, all over the world. We've had people from different countries donate. So I can't thank everybody enough. I think that's my biggest message is the city of Houston thanks you for what you've done, and I appreciate you trusting me, and I'm going to make sure that I do everything I can to get the city of Houston back on its feet.
Yeah, I was out today with a Coast Guard chopper crew just going around, and they were doing incredible rescues, and you just see the dedication of folks who they're working around the clock. A lot of them have come from all over the country to be here, and the volunteers, the Cajun Navy, folks who just grabbed a boat and are doing what they can.
I think that the difficult times bring out the best in humanity. That's kind of something that I've said this week a couple times, and it's so true. I think with everything that's going on in the world, and no matter what happens, no matter if you're rich, poor, no matter if you're black, white, the one thing that we can all rally around is helping our fellow human. And I think that we've seen that in abundance this weekend. I think we're going to continue to see that in abundance. And Houston's a very diverse city. It's a very resilient city. And so to see these people all come together, that's what's so inspiring. And I think we can all take a page out of that book and try and help our fellow humans.
Did you ever think you would see a response like this? I mean, in an event, I mean, you always wonder, well, what would happen if I lived through something like this? Did you ever think you would see people coming together like that?
I always hope so. But to see it come into reality is a whole different ballgame. And it's so sweet to watch. It's so beautiful to watch. You see lines of volunteers where you're like, is that a line for the food, or is that a line? And then all of a sudden it's a line of volunteers. And I think it's so special when you have that many people wanting to help and that many people willing to give what they can. Shelters are turning away supplies because they have so many. So it's really incredible.
I think one of the things that what's so important about what you're doing is that people see, okay, well, it stopped raining. People who aren't here see it stopped raining and they think, oh, well, the worst is over, things are getting better. But you go out to Beaumont today where they just ran out of clean drinking water and had to evacuate a hospital. You go to some of these other areas, even in neighborhoods near reservoirs where there's still water coming in.
Right, and that's the thing is we cannot forget about what's going on just because the water is starting to recede and the storm's starting to go away. We need to help out those other areas. We need to continue to raise the money because they're saying that some of these areas with the water aren't going to go away for quite a long time. And obviously that's when the real work starts because we need to get these houses clean, we need to get them rebuilt, we need to get these people back in their homes because so many people have been displaced.
How do people go about donating money?
The site is youcaring.com/JJWatt. You can go to the site and donate.
Youcaring.com.
Youcaring.com/JJWatt.
Okay.
You can go to the site. You can watch it update as it goes. It's pretty fun to watch. I mean, it's incredible. And then the checks can go directly to if you want to mail a physical check or whatever you'd like, it's the Justin J. Watt Foundation. And so
did you create a foundation?
So
for this,
I've had my own
a
foundation for 7 years, but it's been donated to after school athletics for middle school kids. So we had to create a branch. We went through all the legal paperwork and everything to make sure that we created a branch so that we could accept these donations. And now we're going to obviously take that money and give it directly to the people from Hurricane Harvey. But yeah, we've gone through there's been a lot of phone calls, a lot of legal conversations and everything just to make sure we do it the right way. Because like I said, the number one thing is I want these people to know that the money that they're donating is going directly to Houston.
So finally, I mean, what is the message to folks either who are here in Houston tonight or watching around the country? What do you want them to know? About what's happening here, what you're doing.
The message to everybody in Houston is we have your back. Is we're going to take care of you. We have your back. We want to do everything that we can to make sure that we take care of you because you're our city. You've supported us. You've taken care of us. So I want to make sure that we do everything in our power to take care of you. To people around the world, thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your thoughts. Please don't forget about it once the storm goes away. Please keep donating. Please keep supporting. And then the last message would be thank you. Thank you to all the firefighters and policemen and neighbors that helped out. Thank you to everybody around the world who donated and sent their supplies and sent their firemen and everything and their boats. Thank you to humanity. Thank you for being good people. Thank you for donating. Thank you for showing your support. Thank you for showing that there's good in the world. I appreciate that.
Thank you,
Anderson.
Really an honor.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.